line, ladies and gentlemen. Can I remind you, please, that while the ball is in play, we have absolute silence from the stands.
Well, a very warm welcome from myself, Francis Collins, at the Riverbank Arena for the conclusion of Group B in the football five-a-side here at the London 2012 Paralympic Games. Fascinating encounter on the way between Brazil and China. Things couldn't be more evenly poised because Brazil played France in their first game, they drew 0-0. China played France in their last game, they drew 0-0. Brazil beat Turkey by 4-0. China beat Turkey by 4-0. So, even Stevens on points and as well on goals scored and goals conceded. Top two teams scrapping it out for the #1 spot in Group B. Brazil against China, and we're about to get underway. On the ball, Da Silva and Jefinho, star man for this Brazilian side, the number 7. Trademark play by Jefinho, loves to hug the wing and move back inside, shepherded all the way by Wenfai, the Chinese number 10. Yafeng Wang is the 11, and the other two players you can see there, Zubin Wang and Zhao Qiang Li. Jefinho again, superb play. A man with an uncanny ability to know exactly where the goal is. Maybe noticing a fair bit of moisture coming up off the pitch at the Riverbank Arena. It has been raining somewhat overnight here in London. Lovely bright day, but that's going to make the ball skip around just a bit more on this artificial surface. It's a one-man Brazilian show at the moment. Referee in this game is David Bryant of Great Britain, aided by Ricardinho of Argentina and Rafael Gonzalez of Mexico. So far, Jefinho wants to do it all his own way against this Chinese side, and why not?
Jefferson. Aí, na banda. Jefferson teu lá.
Yafeng Wang scrapping for the ball. Zheng, the number 10. This is Cassio Reis for Brazil. Elegant defender, loves to glide forward given half a chance. Gabriel Da Silva, imposing figure. Main penalty taker as well for the Brazilian side, was being used as, I guess what they call in baseball, a pinch hitter the other day when they were playing against Turkey, being brought on from the sidelines just to take the penalties, of which there were quite a few that the Turkish side conceded in that 4-0 defeat to Brazil. Jefinho being closed down by Wenfai and Zubin Wang, who comes away with the ball now. Cassio Reis for Brazil into the box. Terrific effort by Jefinho, worrying Huacha Zhu in the Chinese goal.
Vai você, Cássio, acompanha.
China yet to mount any real attack on the Brazilian half. If you're joining us for the first time, by the way, bear in mind that you may not hear much of the crowd, and that's because the crowd are asked to stay quiet during this game so the players can hear the sound coming from the ball. The sidelines where Jefinho is having that tussle with Yafeng Wang are designed as well acoustically to reflect the sound for the players so they can hear the ball sound, hear movement, hear their opponents, and also hear instructions from various guides who are positioned in the top and bottom thirds of the pitch. Yafeng Wang, ball stolen by Cassio Reis. Xiaoqiang Li, number 5, the skipper, wrapping things up at the back for China. Wenfei Zheng. China on the attack for the first time. Da Silva to come away with the ball. Good run by the big fellow at the back. Tends to run through players rather than around them, Jefinho style. Veteran of Brazil's Paralympic winning sides of the last 2 games, Da Silva. Gledson is the Brazilian number 4. Da Silva on the charge again. Zubin Wang for China.
Substitution for Brazil, leaving the field number 7, Jefferson Gonçalves. On in his place number 10, Ricardo Alves.
Expect the Brazilian coach Ramon Pereira da Souza to rotate his two-star men as we're seeing now, because Ricardo Steinmetz Alves, known as Ricardinho, showed in this tournament every bit as talented as Jefinho on the ball. Elusive runner at the best of times. Well, Brazil, of course, have won both previous football five-a-side tournaments in the Paralympic Games. They claimed gold when the sport made its debut, which was in Athens in 2004. And they defended their title with a 2-1 defeat of China in the final in Beijing 4 years ago. So, something of a grudge match between these two sides here at the Riverbank Arena at the 2012 Games in London. So Ricardinho on the attack for the Brazilian side. China know too well how dangerous this man can be. China relatively new to this game. They only, of course, decided to compete at their home games in Beijing 4 years ago. Something of a surprise in that event, going all the way to the final where, as I say, they lost to this talented Brazilian team. Asian champions 3 years ago. Also got a bronze at the World Championships 2 years ago, held in Hereford here in England. Gledson it was shepherding the ball out for the Brazilian side. Chinese corner, Zheng and Wang. Fabio is the Brazilian keeper. One-sided player per side. Generally, it is, of course, for obvious reasons, the goalkeeper. Cassio Reis will chase down Wang in the middle of the pitch. Da Silva putting his foot through that ball. Zheng Zhidong is the man you can see on the sidelines, coaching the Chinese side. So 11 minutes gone in the first half, 25 minutes per half, of course. No score between these two sides, as evenly matched in this game as they have been in the games leading up to this encounter, game number 3. As mentioned earlier, both teams putting 4 past Turkey, both teams failing to score against a combative French side for whom Frédéric Villarroux has been a tenacious competitor. As tenacious perhaps as Cassio Reis is being for this Brazilian side, being chased all the way by Jefinho Lee. Attempt coming in, Ricardinho again. Subin Wang is the man who took a bit of a nasty blow.
Fecha, Bill. Na frente dele. Na frente dele. Na frente dele. Vai,
Wenfa Zheng for the Chinese side. Cassio Reis in front of him, also Ricardinho, number 10. Great skills from the Chinese, number 10. Good ball out of defense from Gledson Barros for Brazil, looking for this man. Gorgeous morning for five-a-side football in East London. Nice 16 degrees Celsius today, humidity at 87%, but a little bit of moisture on the pitch, not that it's stopping Ricardinho going close to Huashu in the Chinese goal. Trademark mazy dribble from Ricardo Alves Steinmetz, better known as Ricardinho. Yafeng Wang.
Calma, Cássio, vai nela, vai nela. Vai nela, Cássio. Beleza. Vai, Cássio, volta, volta, Cássio. Bem-vindo.
Good run by Zheng.
Ó o voo. Do outro lado, Ricardo. Do outro lado, Ricardo. Do outro lado, Ricardo. Ricardo.
Constant talking coming from the players and from their coaching staff and from the guides that you'll see at some stage during this game. The guides for each team dressed normally in pink waistcoats, pink bibs. They pop up behind the goal whenever there's a free kick or a penalty to indicate exactly where the goalposts are. Has been known, because the players talk to each other so much, the odd bit of misinformation passed from one team to the other. Of course, that doesn't really count when you have two teams of differing languages, but certainly at a domestic level. So I'm told the odd team has indulged in a little bit of gamesmanship by issuing false instructions as to their positions, hoping to put off their opponents from time to time. Zubin Wang, the number 9.
Vai, Cássio. Na frente dele. Vamos. Beleza, Cássio. Ricardo. Vai você.
Cassio Reis with the shot. Saved by Huachu Zhu. Same player again. The other game in Group B between France and Turkey will follow this one. And as things stand at the moment, a Brazil win will put them through to the semi-finals as group winners. Likewise, a Chinese win. A draw good enough if France fail to beat Turkey by 4 goals. Now, if Brazil and China stay like this at 0-0 and France beat Turkey 4-0, all 3 teams will go into a draw conducted by the organising committee to decide who finishes first, second and third. If they draw 1-1 in this game and France win 5-0, the same will happen, and so on. could get a little bit complicated. Maths is not my strong point. You're going to have to bear with me. I shall be taking advice from the organising committee, but let's hope we get a result in this game. The likes of Wenfa Zheng certainly committed for China. Here's another committed player. Dare I say it, occasionally overcommitted. Gabriel da Silva. Ricardinho. Of course, more games coming later in Group A when Argentina plays Spain in a few hours' time. Great Britain taking on Iran in their final game. Spain could go through even if they lose. A win would definitely put them through. A draw also enough, as they've scored more goals than Argentina. And if they lose, they will go through if Britain, the home side, fail to beat Iran. Certainly Britain, Spain and Argentina, as the results have proved, looking fairly evenly matched in Group A. Some terrific scraps already we've seen in that group. This is a combative game as well. It's another well-matched group. We saw a terrific scrap in game one for this Brazilian side against France, which they drew 0-0. Terrific play, terrific effort by a man who's becoming a star of this Brazilian side, Ricardinho. Very unlucky not to score just the width of the post, and I think Hua Chu-ju was beaten in the Chinese goal.
Coming on in his place, number 7, Jefferson Gonzalez.
So Ricardinho is going to take a breather. The other star attacker, Jefinho, coming back on for the Brazilian side. As the coach Ramon Pereira de Souza rotates his attackers.
Vem cá, senhor. Vem cá. Jefferson, pô. Jefferson. Vai dentro, Jefinho mesmo. Volta.
Each team is permitted to take a 1-minute timeout per half, and People's Republic of China have elected to use theirs.
So Junji Dong, the Chinese coach, and Ramon Pereira de Souza, just a chance to reassess, have a chat with their team, make sure communication is of the max. Heading into the last 4 minutes, 0-0 in this Group B encounter, final group game for both teams. This player Jefinho was close early on in the game. Made his name 4 years ago, of course, in Beijing. Had a cracking game against Turkey in the last match. Ricardinho, some fabulous skills on offer for the man who hit the post just a few minutes ago. Good effort. China immediately on the attack. Zhubin Wang. Well, just incredible play from Jefinho. Not for the first time. He's delighted his coach and the rest of the Brazilian support on the sidelines. Quite remarkable what this man can do from time to time. And you can see what it means to the Brazilian squad against a hotly fancied Chinese side. Incredible ball skills. On the outside of that right boot, flying the ball past Hua Shuzhou in the Chinese goal. 1-0 to Brazil as we head towards the halftime break. It's Gabriel da Silva who is being asked to step to the sidelines, while I'm not entirely sure if it's his hair or his blindfold that is sorted out. Referee's very keen to make sure that all players have the same visual impairment in this game to level the playing field. I think his ponytail needed a bit of attention as well, and he's back on the field of play. David Bryant is refereeing this, the British referee. Hermino Lubrano of Argentina and Rafael Gonzalez of Mexico, his two assistants. Gledson, the man who cleared his lines for Brazil. Casio Reyes. Yafeng Wang getting involved for the Chinese side. Xiaokang Li, number 5. Skipper of this Chinese side. Good run by Yafeng Wang. Ball just running away from him at the end for a Brazilian goal kick. China will want to get back on the score sheet as quickly as possible. Preferably for them, like any team, before half-time to go into the half-time break. Even Stevens. Casio Reyes being helped by Da Silva. Close down by Zheng. Rarely seems to be stressed or troubled in defense, Casio Reyes. Got an imperious nature about his play when he comes out with the ball. Generally finds his man. Generally Jefinho or Ricardinho, or in the previous game, Nonato as well, Raimundo Alves. Mendes Nonato, who's another elusive player for the Brazilian side. Zhubin Wang for China. It's a good run. Well, Fabio, the goalkeeper, having a bit of a problem. Clock is stopped at 23:45, just over a minute to go in the first half. Let's have a look. Took a bit of a nasty knee from Zhao Qiang. I beg your pardon, Zhubin Wang to the face. Injury is not uncommon, of course, in this event. Certainly in previous match in Group A, we saw more than one player having to go off from a bash of the heads, which is entirely normal, of course, if you're playing at pace and you can't see exactly where you're going. Certainly David Clark, the Great Britain captain, has been in the wars quite a few times, having to go off for various blood-related issues to the head. Can get a little bit gruesome. Fabio has the time out to recover from that bash to the ankle and the knee to his head as well. Let's take a look at these Jefinho skills again. Wenfa Zheng, Jefinho, superb players with great ball control. Ricardinho not bad either. So just over a minute to go until the half-time break, as Brazil at the moment sit atop Group B and looking good to go through to the semi-finals. Interesting observers will be the French team, of course, who play against Turkey later on, because a Brazilian win may well suit them nicely. They'll know exactly what they have to do to go through to the semi-finals. They know they've got to beat Turkey to progress, but if this result stays the same, then a win would be enough for the French side against a Turkey team who've conceded 8 goals so far. Conceded a few penalty kicks as well. Zhuqiang Li for China with that run as we head towards in the last few seconds. Just time for the corner and not much more effectively. Referee David Bryant bringing conclusions to a halt for now. This is the man who's given Brazil that decisive lead with a cracking goal and the best we've seen so far in this tournament. Jefferson Conceição Gonçalves, better known as Jefinho. China plenty to think about in the second half if they're going to come back into this game and, of course, get back into contention for a place in the semi-finals of the five-a-side football. We'll come back and talk to you in 10 minutes' time.